Hey, all, welcome back to a special edition of Hopped Up Beer Review, where we are trying the 2024 Costco Beer Garden Collection. And we're on beer number 11. And it is the Georg Rittmayer Rauchbier out of the Brewery Rauchbier Hallerndorf out of Hallerndorf, Germany. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give your unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. We are back doing our Costco Beer Garden Collection box this year, and we are on beer number 11. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. I am Ben. What is beer number 11 here in the box?
Rauchbier. Boom. Let's drink it. Georg Rittmayer Rauchbier. Oh. Boo.
Boo, you. Did you spill it?
It was so excited to get out. Put that
Mine
right
did fine.
there.
Yeah, mine was fine as well.
Wonderful. Happy to hear it, guys.
I know you are. Wow.
Well, this is what, our
Yeah.
third Rauch beer? Well,
Yes.
I am cleaning up.
Ben's like getting super excited over there. Kind of scares me.
Yes, I love this style.
The first was from the actual Advent calendar. The second was that yellow label bottle, right?
Yeah,
Earl,
was it Ike?
like an Earlbach. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ike, something like that.
Ike. Have you cleaned up your mess yet?
Sufficiently. So, let's get
Have you
that
finished
guy in
pouring
there.
yet? I mean, we're thirsty over here.
Mm-hmm. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Gonna step into this Slim Jim.
You know, it's funny you say that. I don't really even like beef jerky.
But it reminds you of beef jerky.
It does, yeah.
The Rauch beer means smoke beer. It's malted barley that is dried over fires of beechwood, typically, to give it that smoking Ben's bacon beer.
Indeed.
This one is 5%. It uses Tettnang hops, so some of the noble hops up there. They describe it as smoky, check, with a fruit malty sweetness.
Fruit?
Yeah.
Like a fruit malty. I get a little malty.
I get the malty, but I don't get the fruit malty.
There's a fruit
Maybe
dash malty sweetness.
Are you talking like a raisin type fruit?
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder what kind of fruit they're referring to.
Like a prune?
They did not say much. Like a prune. I don't know. They didn't really expound. I was trying to see. This is the Brewery Rittmayer Hallerndorf. The very first one out of the box was from the same brewery. It was their Keller beer, I believe. Yeah. And that was on our live review.
It was, yeah.
How about that? It seems like so long ago.
It does.
If some people would stop going out of town,
I know.
we could have some more consistent
Right.
reviews. So the brewery is a microbrewery out of Hallerndorf, Germany. And it's beer. This brewery itself dates back to 1422. Beer being brewed at the site, but it did not come into the Hallerndorf or the Rittmayer family until the mid 1600s. I'm going to drink.
Yeah.
So Ben, expand upon your love for the smoke beer, the Rauch beer here. It dates back to your time in New York, correct? Isn't that what we talked
Yeah,
about?
yeah. I think I told the story on one of the previous two that we've had, probably the first one, where I went out one night with a buddy of mine who had gone to brew school and had come back, and after he had done that, he knew kind of the beer that I was most interested in at the time, and this is now probably 12, 13 years ago. And so we typically go out and he would just order because he was a lot more familiar with beer than I was at the time, and probably still is now, being that he's a brewer. But and it's
He
not that
went to the
hard either,
school.
right?
He knows a lot more about
Yeah,
beer
I
than
mean,
you.
exactly. There's probably most people that drink craft beer. Anyway, uh, we went to this place called Jimmy's. It's in the East Village. It's downstairs. The bar is. Um, it's right next door, by the way, to a place called Standings, which is a really cool little small sports bar, and they have pennants all over the walls and everything, and they allow you to round the walls. And there's an Ole Miss pennant there. I wrote "Hotty Toddy" under it, and I did this in probably 2000. This was 2008. I went back
You're
in
old.
2000. Yeah, I went back in 2019. It was still there. So just you go to Standings, you see "Hotty Toddy" under the Ole Miss pennant, back by the bathroom. I wrote that. So,
They put
As
it
we
in the
go
best
down
spot.
the rabbit
yeah.
hole.
Well, they do the SEC, so it's all SEC's all back by the bathroom. Maybe that's what they think of us up north. But anyway, back to the story. Jimmy's is downstairs. We got a Rauchbier there. Don't even know what it was, but only thing I could think of the whole time was it tasted exactly like bacon. You asked me to tell a story. It's going to be long and drawn out. So there you go. Royal you.
I did not comment. I'm enjoying your story. I just find it funny the sidebars and the rabbit holes you go down sometimes.
Yeah.
But they're entertaining.
Bathroom pennants and all that,
Consequently, I played on a group of basketball people up there with my wife's work, and a guy who played basketball. We play like in a city league as a company. It was with my wife's company, and
The Knicks?
guy that I played basketball with, he actually played for North Carolina. One of the guys that rode the bench, but in a basketball league of people like us, he was amazing. Just awesome.
So here's your ringer.
Yeah. We had a game one night, and the next night I'm at Standings when I wrote the Hotty Toddy, and I saw him there. I mean, it's a city of like 2,000 bars. It's insane that you would see somebody out at a bar in a random part of town. So,
yeah, and that many millions of people.
Yeah.
Ben, since you're
I can tell more stories
on a roll, why don't you review?
So another story.
Yeah.
This is Ben's story hour. We'll probably have a separate episode for that, which will get very few views. So this one for a Rauchbier, compared to what we've had, compared to the other one that I've had that I can recall, it's a little bit on the lighter side for me. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's smoky. It's beefy. It's all that you would expect for Rauchbier, but it's just a little bit lighter in flavor. I still really like it, so it doesn't necessarily take anything away from the beer. But when we've had the previous ones we've had have been really strong on the meat flavor, if you will, where this one is just a little bit lighter.
Meat flavor.
That being said, it's good. This is going to be one of my favorites out of the box so far. Probably the one I've been most excited for. I haven't looked at all of them in the box yet, like really, really well to know what we have coming up. But looking as I pull them out of the box, I put them in the fridge. This has definitely been the one that I've been the most excited for so far. So I like this one. I wish I could get this one all the time. don't know if this would be a keg beer. It'd be really close. I think I'd probably get tired of drinking
No,
it after a
this is
while.
not a keg beer.
Probably not a keg beer. It's
For
light
Ben, it
enough.
probably would be.
I mean, I'm. It's one of those I say right now it'd probably be a great keg beer, and then I'd get it as a keg beer, and I'd be super tired of it by like beer 20.
Over ice cream, it's like a float, a smoky float. No, it's horrible.
All that being said, I like it a lot. I'm going to give it an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, what do you think? Since you yawned at my story.
Yeah, maybe I'm just burpy now. Compared
sleepy.
to the other Rauch beers, yeah, I'm tired. It is not as, I agree with you, Ben. It's not as robust. It is a little flatter tasting. You get the little malt, you get the smoky, which I appreciate that smoky taste, but flavor wise, other than the smoke, it's just it doesn't. I want a little bolder malt to it.
You want more meat. You want more meat on that bone, right?
More bacon.
I may have not ever said those words in my life. I want more meat on that bone.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in it as a Rauch beer. I wanted more out of it. I will appreciate the crest of the can. That's cool. You got the armored helmet there. Dude on a horse. I think he's got I can't tell if he's a jouster or that's a sword. Anyway, it's cool. 1422. But the can art isn't enough to save the score. I'm just going to give it a 6.5.
Wow, really?
I've had enough Rauch beers that this falls flat compared to the others. No, 6.5 is still a score.
Rauch beers
that I would drink it.
Rauch beers. I'd love to have more Rauch beers. We just don't get them.
I'm not saying I've had my fill of Rauch beers and I don't want any more. I've had enough to realize what a good Rauch beer is.
I know.
I understand what you're saying, and I see the issue I have too is somewhat what you're experiencing when you've drank probably half the beer, even if you let it warm up a little bit like I have. The smoky flavor that goes away, it dies off. You're left with just that malty flavor. So I don't know that I'd say it's flat, but it's not as robust, I guess is the best way that you can kind of put it. It leaves a little bit to be desired there. I do love the Rauch beers, and I agree. I mean, spending time as a competition barbecue enthusiast, this would have been great to have side by side with any barbecue contest, because you talk about having a smoked beer with smoked meat. Yeah, that'd be good. I'm not going to go as harsh as you. This to me is still a really good beer. It's one of the good ones in the Advent box, or not the Advent box, the Beer Garden box. I apologize. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think it's good. It's got the smoky flavor, especially on the start, but then it just kind of dies down, and maybe it's a little bit on the tongue and the aftertaste now, but it's not as prevalent as it was when you first had those first few sips.
And when you get the chance, go check out Jay's barbecue channel, Meat on the Bone. So on YouTube.
No, that's not mine, and I
might
will not
be an
take
actual
credit for it.
meat on the bone. So careful what you're directing.
Yes. I bear no responsibility for anywhere that you go online.
That will be a 7.3 for the Georg Rittmayer Rauch beer. Definitely, if you like smoked beers, you've got to try this style of beer if you have not done so. It's very hard for us to find them where we are located. But when we do, we grab them and we give them a score like we have done today. Definitely appreciate you checking out this video. We're going to continue through our Beer Garden Collection box here. This was beer number 11. We've got 13 to go, and we're going to keep that up. So if you have this box or are interested in seeing the rest of these beers, be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell so you'll be notified of when we release these videos in the future. Also, down in the description, you can check out all the social media sites we have. You can check out our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It's a chat room. You can come check that out as the others that have as well. We are all three there and some other people who have joined us from the show. And you can also check out our links for any Hopped Up Beer Review merch, like shirts and koozies and glassware that we have out there if you're interested. And lastly, we have some links down below with hardware and software that we do to create the show, as well as some of the glassware that we have purchased for different style of beer. So you can check that out too. With that, appreciate you checking out this video. For Andy and the Attic and Jay, I'm Ben. Drink more bacon. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.